Hi there, Donald here, CEO at Integrate.io. If you're watching this video, you're likely in the market for a Salesforce integration solution. The good news is that there are a lot of different options. The bad news is it can be hard to figure out which one is the right option for you. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through some of the various options that are on the market and then show you a quick demo of our own solution to see if that could be a fit for your use case. So as we look at the Salesforce data integration landscape, there are a wide variety of platforms out there that can solve various challenges in integration. And so at the very entry level on the basic side of things, there is Salesforce Data Loader. This is a tool offered by Salesforce themselves, and it is a great solution if you are looking to upload a CSV file to Salesforce and not too regularly, because it is a manual process. So you do have to upload it manually yourself. You download Data Loader as a client on your actual computer. And so for that, if you have a clean CSV file, that means it doesn't need too much transformations or clean it up. You don't have to spend a lot of time in the actual CSV cleaning the data before you upload it. It could be a good solution, right? So if you're doing something, say like once a week, you need to upload some leads or something, and it's pretty clean, that could be an option for you. And then on the other side, you got another solution offered by Salesforce, which is MuleSoft, right? And this is again, really powerful tool when you need like the whole kitchen sink essentially, right? You want API management solution, you want an iPaaS vendor, you want a solution for working with your enterprise service bus, essentially the whole data integration layer across that. And so again, this is a great solution if you are of a company size that requires this or needs this. The challenge or the downside, I guess, with that is that it is like a 6 to 12 month implementation. It's a couple of $100,000 in cost to actually install and to ongoing maintain that on a yearly basis. And then you do need a dedicated team, either in-house or externally, to be able to manage that solution ongoing. So it requires quite a bit of technical expertise to build and manage it. So then in the middle, you have our company, Integrate.io. And so we are a solution that is just solely focused on data integration, so making it as easy as possible to integrate data from any source into Salesforce. So that's all. We just focus solely on that data integration piece of it. And so again, if you are sort of like using a data loader or you're thinking about it, if your use case requires more around, say, you have a lot of data transformation or data cleaning to do, depending on your the file you're working with, then that can be time consuming to do manually, right? And especially if you're doing that every day or even every week, it can be time consuming. So if you're in that scenario, it may be worth considering something like Integrate.io to be able to automate that completely for you. And then obviously, of course, with Integrate.io, we can ingest data from anywhere, not just CSV. So it's APIs, databases, etc. They're all taken care of. So that's a quick overview of the actual data integration landscape. Now let's hop in and take a look at our actual platform. So our whole platform has been built for ease of use. So it's point and click, drag and drop interface. In this example, I'm going to do a test package here, and we're going to do SFTP integration to Salesforce. Just name our package. There's two different data flow or two different types of options here. One's a data flow. It's like a standard data integration for a pipeline, just taken from a source to a destination with transformations. And then a workflow is a bit more advanced. It allows you to build dependencies between different pipelines, right? So let's say you might have a need to load in account data first, right? And after that account data is loaded in, then move into loading in invoices, something like that, or your billing. So if you have like structured requirements, you can set triggers to load in a certain required format. And then we do have templates here again to help you get started. For this time, we're just going to start with a blank canvas. And so this is our package designer, where you spend majority of the time in our platform. And so as I said, it's point and click, drag and drop interface. On the source side of things, you can ingest data from anywhere. So REST APIs, ERPs, databases, SaaS applications, anything, you name it, we have it. And for this example, I'm going to take a data from an SFTP. So I'll click our file storage here. I'll choose my file storage connection. And then I will go through and I'm going to ingest a file that is called customer. And this just contains some lead information. And so in this example, I'm pulling from a CSV. We support any file type, right? Whether it's Excel, it's JSON, it's XML, and essentially any file type is supported. And we can handle any of the various delimiters, either the standard ones, or if you have custom, we can do those too. And then as well as string qualifiers. And then last up is if you want to process data incrementally, again, we can just pull in data from only new files. For this one, I only have one file I'm putting in for the example, so I can just leave it as this. And then lastly, the third step here is actually previewing the data and pulling into our platform. And so with this then, I can see here, this is some of the sample data. So this just puts it into a table format for me, so it's easy to view. I can view the raw file too if I want to. Just take a look at that, and I can see the structure as expected. So that's the first step. I've brought on the data onto our platform. And then the next step is if I want to do some data transformations. And so with our platform, we have both table level and field level data transformations. So if we look here, we can see the various table level transformations we have here. And for this first transformation, I'm going to do a filter on some of this data. So I'll join these two together. I'll create a filter, and it'll drop down the various options for me to create a filter on. So I want to first filter out any emails that are not present. So I'll just do text is not empty. And I also like to do the same for the company names. So this means that any rows of data that do not have either an email or a company name are not going to come through the filter. And so I only want to bring on the entries that do have those. So that's on the table level transformations. And then if you look at another example, we can add here a select component. And the select component here lets us do field level transformations. So for example here, I can, with email, let's say from email address, that a lot of the emails are in various, in terms of capitalization, they're in various formats. And so what I would like to do here is to use one of our lower functions. So this just lower cases all the input here. So if I just choose here brackets around this is going to lower in lowercase all email addresses that go through the pipeline. And so with this expression editor, we've over 220 different transformations, right? So it's everything from encrypting data to working with JSON, date, time, again, a very popular one, especially when working with Salesforce to get data into the right, or date types into the right format, etc. So again, it's rare to find something you can't do transformation-wise with this platform, given how robust it is. And so for this one, I'm just going to add in that lowercase email, and then also just stuff like, for example, if I want to add a unique identifier here, right? So we could do if we use UID here, this is again another function. It adds in a unique identifier to every row that comes through, and I'll just call this one UID. So I just added a new column here. So once I've got done, these are my transformations I'm happy with. These are what I require to get my file to load into Salesforce. Obviously, you can do as many of these steps as needed until your data is in the format that you need it to be before you load into Salesforce. And then the last step here is I'm just going to add a destination. And so for my destination, it will be Salesforce. And here I'll just again choose my connection to Salesforce and the various options. So we can pull data in or load data in via either API version for bulk, either 1.0 or 2.0. So you can choose those, and you can choose your target object. And so this can be either Salesforce standard objects, or it also any of your custom objects. So for this one, I want to load into our lead object. And then in operation type is around just the various ways to load data in. So you can do an upsert if you want. For this case, I'll just choose insert only. We have some more advanced options here as well, just in terms of batch size, the errors you are accepting, and then the thread count. And then also, if you want, you can output any failed records, right? So if anything doesn't get loaded in because the Salesforce API rejects it because of formatting or whatever the problem is, you can just output those to a CSV file, and you can review those and then just reprocess the file with the failed ones cleaned up. For now, we'll just go without an output file. And our last step then is to actually map the data. So if we look here, we just need to, we've autofilled the fields. We need to just match up these. So we want company name to go in here. And then we do want to update first name to be last name to match up with the destination. And then lastly, we'll also add in the first name and match that up here with our first name column first name field in Salesforce. So there you have it. This is our first pipeline built out. We're pulling data from SFTP file. We are using various filter components and select to do transformations. And then we are loading into Salesforce. So once this is built out, you can test this out, run it manually, and then you can put it on a schedule on our platform. So we can run jobs from every 5 minutes to whatever time frequency you need, hourly, daily, weekly, whatever requirements you have. And then once you have that built out, this runs in the background. You don't have to come into the platform. It just simply executes on your chosen schedule. And then other things we have here down in our corner, we have a dedicated support team that is 24/7 support help. And so you can click here and view live chat at any time. And then we also have a dedicated knowledge base that you can view the whole documentation. And then in terms of us as a company, we are very big on customer support, and that is not just our support team itself, but the whole company. So if you do choose to schedule a time with one of our team to discuss your use case, on that very first call, you'll have a dedicated solution engineer who will be able to show you the platform, answer your questions, and then that person stays with you the whole way through your evaluation, through your onboarding until you get your use case into production, and then ongoing after that, you have our success team and 24/7 support. So we are, very much, as I said, very much big on being a fantastic support center across every touch point that you experience. And we hope that, we'd love the opportunity to work together. So I hope that demo gave you some insight into how we could help with your various use cases. As I said, there's obviously a lot of options out there, depending on your requirements. So if your requirements do seem like a fit for us, we'd love the opportunity to work together. So feel free to schedule time on our website, or if you have any questions, you can reach out to our team or to me directly, Donal, Donal.Tobin, Tobin, at integrate.io, or drop me a text or a call on 415-745-9468. Thank you very much.